My name is Melinda Emerson. I'm known as the Small Biz Lady, America's #1 small business expert. And I grew up in a little town outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, known as Bridgeville, PA. We were one of, 10, 12 black families in the whole school district. And it was a very isolating environment. And, as I grew up and, graduated from high school and eventually went on to college at Virginia Tech, I remember always talking about how much I hated Bridgeville and never wanted to come home. And my father used to check me about that. He used to say, you know what, everybody is from somewhere. Yeah, growing up here probably wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but listen, everybody's got tough stuff they go through, and going through that is what made you who you are today. And I believe that my competitive drive, the fact that I fear no one, that I believe I can do anything, comes from all those years of being told I couldn't do anything, wasn't going to be anything. I went to Virginia Tech and majored in journalism, but I wasn't really sure what kind of journalist I wanted to be, so I tried everything. I also had the opportunity to do 3 internships while I was in college. I worked for ABC News in London for a semester. I also worked for the NBC Weekend Today show in New York City one summer, and I worked for CBS Evening News in Washington. In 1992 was when I was an intern for the Weekend Today show, and that summer I stayed on Columbia University's campus. I didn't have a TV, all I had was a radio and my thoughts. And I can remember the summer of 1992 was when Oprah Winfrey really got on my radar screen. Not so much for her television show, but for her production company, Harpo Studios. She was starting to produce major original programming, and it really gave me the idea of starting my own production company. And so all the way back when I was a sophomore, I figured out that one day I would be an entrepreneur, and that the name of my production company would be Quintessence. Quintessence means perfection, and I thought it sounded kind of feminine and kind of Afrocentric, so it worked for me. So when I graduated from Virginia Tech, I ended up getting a job, ironically, back in my hometown in Pittsburgh. I was an associate producer for the NBC station. I worked there for a year, and then I left and went to the NBC station in Philadelphia. And then to the ABC station in Philadelphia. And you know what? I had my dream job. I always wanted to be a producer in top 5 television. But you know what? Sometimes your dream job can become a nightmare. I left that job and I had a laptop, a fax machine, and a dream. And I started my business, Quintessence Entertainment, in the basement of my house. And from there, I built a media empire. One of my biggest breaks came for me in my business in 2001. I won the business plan competition in Philadelphia, and I won $25,000 in free office space in the Enterprise Center, which is a small business incubator in Philadelphia. And we ended up being named number 29 on the Philly 100 fastest growing small businesses in Philadelphia. And from there, I was named a Rising Star of the Year from Black Enterprise, top 50 women in business in Pennsylvania. Ebony Magazine named me one of the top 30 leaders under 30 in America, and the National Association of Women Business Owners bestowed on me their Women of Distinction Award. And in 2005, my life changed a great deal. I became pregnant with my son, and basically I went from being the worst workaholic you ever met in your whole life to not being able to raise my voice above a whisper at anyone and being on bed rest for 6 months. Let me tell you, when you got 6 months to just sit and think, the good thing about it is you can come up with a lot of great ideas. The number one thing I started doing was thinking about all the expensive lessons I had learned. And honey, that list was long. But the good thing is that it turned into an outline that became my national best-selling book, Become Your Own Boss in 12 Months. I've been in business for 15 years. I've seen it all. I have been through the fire, the wind, and the rain. And what I do now is I just share everything I learned. It's my dedication to my mission to end small business failure. Whenever you have a setback in your business, you really shouldn't look at it as a failure. What you need to look at it as is an expensive learning opportunity. Because here's the deal. It's hard to run a small business. There's going to be plenty days when you get down on yourself or down on your staff. But the thing about it is that don't give that a lot of time. Maybe give it an hour. Maybe you give it a day. Maybe you just need to come back and fight the next day. But what you got to understand is that is all part of the process. You don't lose, you just learn. And if you think about it that way, you will always be able to move forward. So if you're interested in living your dreams and becoming an entrepreneur, now could not be a better time. I'm Melinda Emerson, Small Biz Lady, and I'm on a mission to end small business failure, and I challenge everyone to join me.